What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Hope everybody's having a great day or night whenever you're watching this. I want to talk about the AFC West and the NFL because this might be a bold prediction, but I think the Chargers are going to win it this year. The LA Chargers roster is stacked to a T. I'm going to break down their roster and their depth chart and a little bit of their schedule. And so that way, kind of what I did with the Lions in a previous video, so you can see why I'm thinking the way I'm thinking, why I think they're going to win this division, even though I do think this division is going to be an absolute bloodbath. Before I get into it, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. Well, let's hop into the Chargers depth chart. All right. We're going to start with the offense for sure here. That's the easiest way to do it. Justin Herbert, absolute baller. We already know that man's a top 6 or 7 quarterback, depending who you're talking to. Any lower than that, and it's wrong. It's a lie. He's amazing. And, if you've watched my videos before, I'm a Chargers fan. That is who I root for. But I'm going to try and keep my bias out of this and be objective here. But honestly, I think saying Herbert's top 6 or 7 is not, that's not slanting it. I think it's fair. Austin Ekeler had 20 touchdowns last year. He's a beast. And I really love them drafting Isaiah Spiller. He's a monster coming out of Texas A&M, I believe. They've got a real 1-2 punch that I'm really looking forward to watching. And then the receiving core is one of the best in the entire league. Keenan Allen, slept on every single year. He's just consistent as hell. Mike Williams is an explosion waiting to happen. Josh Palmer, I can't wait to see him in year 2. I liked him as a rookie. I thought he was pretty good. He wasn't like blowing the doors off or anything like that, but I think that going into that year 2 and that improvement, I think we're going to see it. Being that third option is going to be nice. Having DeAndre Carter, I think that's going to be nice to have him for some trickery, some slot plays, and obviously he's going to be kick returning. So I like the receiving core as a whole. And then they upgraded massively at tight end with Gerald Everett. Chargers fans, we don't have to watch Jared Cook give up on half of his routes and have Herbert throw an interception because his receiver stopped running. Gerald Everett is going to fight for extra yards. He's going to make plays, and I can't wait to watch him. He was a beast with the Rams, just didn't get the volume of reps just because they had so many other players. And then the Seahawks last year, Russell Wilson went down, so there was really they didn't have anything going for him anyway. But I really can't wait to see Everett playing with like a legit quarterback for 16, 17 games this year. Neighbors, fullback. We don't really run a lot of fullback stuff, so no, I don't have a big opinion. Rashawn Slater, top 10 left tackle, was a Pro Bowler as a rookie. He's awesome. Matt Filer was really damn good next to him last season. If you guys watch Charger games, they really liked running to the left because of Slater and Filer. Those two being on that side were just locked down all game. Corey Linsley, top 2 or 3 center in the entire league, highest paid one, I think, unless somebody else got it. Maybe Ryan Jensen got a check. I don't know. But he's amazing. Chargers fans, y'all know that. Zion Johnson, first round pick this year, was the safe pick, and that was one I was comfortable with. Apparently, he's been a monster in training camp. So I love hearing that and seeing that kind of stuff. Hopefully, he has a very quality year. The one weakness in this offense is the right tackle in Storm Norton or Trey Pipkins. It was an issue last year, and it was the one thing they really didn't shore up in the offseason. But, no team is perfect, in my opinion. So having one issue on the entire offense, fine. I think that's okay. And Pipkins was doing okay towards the end of last season. So I don't know. The right tackle is a weakness, but I don't think it's going to be killer because you can chip, you can do a lot of things to help him out, whatnot. But the real spot where this team improved was the defense. This was like the worst run defense in the entire league last season. They were horrible against the run. This year, I will be stunned if they're not in the top 15 against the run. They beefed up the D-line, added to the secondary. And then the one thing that they is kind of a question mark right now is the linebackers, but we'll get to them, okay? Jerry Tillery, I'm going to be honest, has been a letdown thus far. So this is his prove-it year. But they've got guys like Joe Gaziano who have stepped in sometimes and been okay, Morgan Fox. And I honestly don't think that Tillery's going to get he'll get play time, but I don't think he's going to get a ton because Khalil Mack exists. So, and it might be easier for him being on a D-line with, Sebastian Joseph Day, Khalil Mack, and Joey Bosa. That might open up some things for him. We'll find out. I don't know. Austin Johnson is a very, very good nose tackle against the run. Sebastian Joseph Day is one of the faster, defensive ends, defensive tackles. He's a beast. He can get some sacks and stuff. I think he's going to fit in great next to Bosa and Mack. And then you got Joey Bosa, who, his entire career has been elite, just to put it simple. And he's finally got somebody opposite him over the last because Melvin Ingram a few years ago was pretty good, but he kind of tailed off. Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack's the best player he's ever played with on the line. Put it simply, and he's getting it now. I'm really excited to see how he performs with having that other sense of firepower on the other side of the field, or if you line them up together on the same side. I can't wait to see what the offensive line have to deal with going with that, because that's going to be a nightmare. And this is if you watch like their Chargers TikToks and stuff, Braden Foico is one of the funnier guys on the entire roster. I think he's a great locker room presence. But I'm really excited for Chris Rump, because the thing with him is he needed to put on some size. And being honest, I don't know if he has put on the size, but he's athletic as hell. And I think he could have a pretty good year. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes in and has, 5 to 7 sacks or something like that and makes some plays. I'm really excited to see how he performs this year, just as a dark horse kind of player on the defense. Like I said earlier, linebackers is the big question mark on this defense. It's not very good on paper. Basically, if you're looking at it, Kenneth Murray, K9, he was one of the worst players on the defense last year. He's battling injuries. And this year it's looking like the same thing again, where he's having an ankle surgery and he's recovering. So we don't know if he's going to be able to come back before the season, I think. So I don't know what's going on with there. Drew Tranquil, he's okay. He's solid. He's not going to, like make your defense elite or anything, but he's decent. I don't have any big issues with him. Khalil Mack being listed as a linebacker, I think that I love the flexibility with him being able to stand up or being able to get on the line. So obviously, if you don't, Khalil, peak for peak, is one of the best defensive players or pass rushers at least ever. So Khalil's a beast. And then they have Kyle Van Noy, who was a great pickup. Patriot, he was a Dolphin for a little bit. He's a quality linebacker. I think that really helped me with the confidence in the defense. So there's that. So now we get to the secondary, and I think the secondary is going to be nasty as hell. Okay. It's starting off with Asante Samuel Jr. I think he's going to play more in the slot this year. Just that's my guess. I think he was a playmaker last year, but I think they're going to rotate him into the slot more often. And then you have the best safety in football, Derwin James. If you disagree with that, are you with a wall? He is the best safety in the entire league. Nasir Adderley had a solid season last year. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't great. He made plays. I'm really excited to see how he goes into that next season as a full-time safety. And I love the depth here because they've got Mark Webb and Alohi Gilman, but JT Woods was the third-round pick ball hawk that they drafted. I think he's going to get more reps than these guys, just my personal opinion, unless something happens. So I like JT Woods as a backup, being at third safety. I loved that decision that they made in the draft. And then you got a top 10 corner in JC Jackson, who is the definition of ball hawk, literally pick six. He's going to get a couple of them. He's a monster. But the one thing that they really did is they improved their cornerback depth, because I don't think this depth chart's correct. I think it's going to be JC Jackson taking the ones, Michael Davis taking the twos, and splitting the twos with him and Asante Samuel Jr. Those guys will be the twos and threes. And then Bryce Callahan can play some slot too, and he can be the fourth corner. So instead of Tavon Campbell, I don't mean to bash people, but he was horrible last year. Instead of him being the second or third corner, he's fifth or fourth. So I think the depth back there got a lot better. Dustin Hopkins, finally we solved the kicker problem. Fingers crossed. They got a new punter in J.K. Scott. We had one of the worst punting games in the entire league last year. So I think that's an improvement. I'm excited for that. I mentioned DeAndre Carter earlier. I think he's going to do great things in the kick return game. I thought we were going to bring back Andre Roberts, but we chose not to. I think he went to the Falcons or something. That could be wrong. But I like the Carter pickup. I think it's fair. I like it. And then the Josh Harris as a long snapper. We're giving some long snapper love right now. He was a Pro Bowler. I'm excited to have him. He can snap the ball back to the punter faster than most punters most long snappers in the entire league, which will prevent your punts from getting blocked, like the Chargers are notorious for having happen. So they look amazing on paper across the board, with the exception of right tackle and linebacker. Okay. So there's literally only a couple weaknesses. Let's get to the schedule. All right. So week 1, we got the Raiders. This is a revenge game for the Chargers. I fully think that they're going to come out and just want to absolutely annihilate them. After what happened last season, the Raiders clutched up in that final week of the season and won that game. And I think the Chargers are a lot better on paper. So I expect the Chargers to come out and destroy them in that first game. That is a hot take, but that's what I'm fully expecting. The Chiefs, that's always a tough one. It's always close, always comes down to the wire. Patrick Mahomes is a beast. We know that. They did lose Tyreek Hill, which was a big weapon that the Chargers have had to deal with for a lot of years. But the Chiefs kind of rebounded and did a pretty good job with their roster in terms of receivers. But Justin Herbert, I don't think he's ever lost in Kansas City. So let's keep that streak going. So I got him at 2 wins right there. Jaguars are probably going to suck. That's 3 wins. Texans, hopefully that's another revenge game. That game last season was really where they ended up not making the playoffs, in my opinion. So I think they got 4 wins right there to start the season. The Browns will not have Deshaun Watson for at least the first 6 weeks. They beat the Browns. I think you're up 5-0. The Broncos is 1. The Broncos, I think, are going to be really good. And I think the Chargers are going to split with the Broncos. So I'm going to say here, this is a Monday night game, week 6. We'll lose that first one. I'll say we lose that first game to the Broncos on Monday night. So you're 5-1. I think the Broncos are going to be really good. The Seahawks are probably going to suck. I got them beating the Seahawks. So you're 6-1 going into your bye week. That's a great spot to be. The Falcons are going to be horrible on my guess. So you're 7-1 after them. The Niners, we don't really know what to expect in terms of their quarterback play. So they are a wild card, although I do think the Chargers are better than them. So that's another win right there. I believe that makes us 8-1 at this point. The Chiefs, we tend to split it with them. I'm gonna give the Chiefs some love here. I think the Chiefs will split it. I think that's what's gonna happen there. So now you're at I think it's 8-2. Cardinals are gonna be a good team. It'll be in Arizona, but this is the second half of the season, and Kyler Murray is notorious for falling off a cliff in the second half of the season. So I'm gonna take them there. That's 9-2. Raiders in this game, I think the Raiders will win this one though. I think they're gonna split a lot of the division. So I think that's like 9-3 right there. The Dolphins, they're gonna be solid. I'm gonna take the Chargers though, 10-3. Titans, I don't think the Titans are gonna be very good this season. I think that they have the writing is on the wall for them, and that's not a good thing. So 11-3. Colts are gonna be good, and I think the Colts are actually gonna win the AFC South. But I personally think that the Chargers are gonna be better than them. So that's 12-3. And then we got the Rams. This is the New Year's Day game. I'm gonna say the Rams win this one. I think the Rams are gonna be really good again. So you're 12-4. And then week 18 against the Broncos, I think the Chargers will win that one, if it even matters. So I've got them at 12 or 13 wins next season. Is that too high, or is that too low, or is that just right? Because I think with the talent, after going over the depth chart, this is at minimum an 11-win team. I think they improved in drastic ways. The run defense should be a lot better. And this is, of course, we're banking on health. This is Justin Herbert going into his third year. You know, everybody on the offense is paid and got all their contracts. They don't have any issues. Obviously, we're working out the Derwin James stuff, but I think that's going to get handled. He's been handling that like a pro. And the defense in the secondary, I think, is going to be top 5. And then I think they're going to have a top 5 pass rush. So I'm excited for this season. If you're a Chargers fan like me, you should be hyped up because they should be looking at 12 or 13 wins and winning the division. I think the Chiefs will be somewhere around 10 to 12 wins. The Broncos will kind of be in that same range. The Raiders in that 9 to 11 wins, possibly. That's where I kind of see them. I really like the Chargers odds this season. And it's like, I feel like we've had this conversation in the past a lot of times with the Chargers, but this year is truly different, in my opinion, because they have so much more talent than they've had in years past, and they don't have a lot of weaknesses. Like I said, the right tackle is a weakness. The linebackers is a weakness. Not a big weakness, but it is one. But I did try and give some respect to the Broncos, to the Chiefs, to the Raiders. I think those, like I said, this division is going to be insane. Those teams are all going to win a lot of games. I'm just really excited for this season. This season is going to be so much fun if you're a Chargers fan. I'm expecting Justin Herbert to be in some MVP conversations. I'm not going to say he's going to win it, but I think he'll definitely be in the conversations. I think Josh Allen's definitely going to be in there too. He's the one to really pay attention to, in my opinion. But I'm excited, y'all. Let me know. What do you think of the schedule? Like, do you disagree on some of these games? Because I think there's definitely going to be some clash there because, they do have some tough opponents. Obviously, the division. And then you got the Rams. The Colts are going to be tough. You got the Niners and the Cardinals that'll be tough. So there's a lot of ways it can go. I'm personally seeing 12 or 13 wins. I'm super excited. Let me know what y'all think. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you enjoy this kind of content, please like the video. But I'm done here. Peace.